Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. I'm back in tune, snowy Newcastle. Lucky for Mbappe I am, because if I was still in Paris, I'd be looking for that twat. Right, he'd be getting a punch right in the nose. Right in that big fat nose of his. But before we get into the full rant, and what he said on Newcastle Aid, after he couldn't take not beating us again, he did his post-match interview and he said one or two other comments since the draw at Parc des Princes on Tuesday night. So we're going to get into that soon. Before we do that, shout out Circle for sponsoring this video. You can scan the QR code on the screen now or hit the link in the description to download Circle. Have a little play about on their football sweepstake game. Just a Wheel of Fortune type of thing. All about luck really, not much skill involved. So if you're feeling lucky, punk, get yourself involved in Circle. It's a £2 to play and you could win millions of pounds. It's that easy. So have a look at those if you fancy it. Right then. Tell you what I fancy letting off some steam, some French steam on this French. I will not say the rest. I'll not say, not this early anyways. I don't want to swear so soon. I don't want to swear at all, to be honest. He doesn't deserve it. But no doubt it'll come out in my outburst after his outburst the other night. So, Kylian Mbappe, the world's greatest player. You know, everyone's saying it now. It's the Mbappe generation. Obviously, it's him v Haaland's the new Ronaldo v Messi. These are the Ballon d'Or winners for the next 10, 20 years and all the rest of it. Not when he plays against black and white Newcastle United, it's not, is it? Kylian. Can't handle it, can he? I thought it was just Dan Burn that scared the living crap out of him at St James's Park, and he wasn't used to seeing a giant absolutely wipe the floor with him. This time it was little old Trippier. 33-year-old 5-foot-odd Trippier. Little trips. Couldn't get past little trips. Jamal Lascelles. Championship player. Couldn't get past him. Not anymore. Big ups to Lascelles. But everyone thought that. Everyone thought he was finished. Do you know what I mean? Never got a game at Newcastle. Hadn't played at all for ages. And then he comes in out the cold and he's been playing so well the last couple of months while Botman's been injured, our captain there as well, Jamal Lascelles. But they had him wrapped up again, even at their place, even with the drums and the megaphones. That looked wrong, didn't it? Megaphones, everything else that they had to try and get the atmosphere going, trying to be intimidating, you know what I mean, trying to back the boys. We were not flustered. We didn't care about your little, you know, ultras display and smashing up your own bars and hoying little red flags on the pitch and everything. Didn't bother with. And I tell you what, Mbappe couldn't do it again against the tsunami. And he cannot stand it. He can't take it. He can't quite get his little head around why we can't beat Newcastle, because they had that stinking attitude when they came to St James's Park thinking they merely had to turn up and then cruise to a win, yet they're absolutely crashed to a battering when we demolished them 4-1. And you know, it was all about revenge. It was all about PSG getting revenge this time against a depleted, knackered Newcastle squad. Oh, we'll do these at home. No bother. It's time for revenge. We'll get 4 past these this week. I remember that. Luis Enrique was saying, Newcastle, we don't forget. We will not forget that result at St James's Park. We're coming for you. And Mbappe and the rest of them, early on in the game, Mbappe tried his clever little flick. Kluivert scored a goal later for Newcastle years ago. Mbappe couldn't do it against Nick Pope. He was trying to be clever. He was trying to be cocky. And he got a big fat humbler. Yet again, he was humbled by Nick Pope, Jamal Lascelles and everyone else. And he can't handle it. And his frustration afterwards, even after getting a dodgy, disgraceful penalty in the last minute to equalise, he shouldn't even have been on the score sheet again, just like he wasn't at St James's. He shouldn't have been on the score sheet. He was quiet again, you know what I mean? We stifled him, absolutely stifled him. But he thought to himself, even after that jammy, lucky, disgusting penalty that should never have been, he still couldn't handle the fact that they couldn't beat the Toon. He couldn't get it round his little Ninja Turtle looking brain that he couldn't beat the Geordies. Anyhow, and the rest of them absolutely humiliated him once again. Because the draw, they were buzzing with it in the end, went to dancing and he was celebrating and everything. But he missed loads of chances in that game. He put them wide from very close. He scuffed them. He hit them at Pope. Pope made some great saves. Him and PSG, and he said it in his interview afterwards, they had too many chances and they wasted them. No shit, Sherlock, you definitely did. But Newcastle also defended valiantly. They defended superbly, ferociously, battled so hard that they deserved that historic win that was robbed of us by UEFA corruption and VAR. But Mbappe, after the game, this is what he said. We'll get into it now. 5 minutes in nearly. There it is on your screen. That's what Mbappe said. Newcastle are nothing. Newcastle did nothing. We dominated them. Shocking that we didn't get the win. And he's whinged about the ref in other interviews. And he keeps on just saying, he's disrespecting Newcastle basically. a shocking outburst where we're nothing, we did nothing, and we are no one. That's what he's saying, and that kind of attitude is why he got absolutely pumped at St James's, because he's not aware of us being such a big name, or maybe not seen the come up, or he doesn't appreciate Eddie Howe. He underestimated us massively underestimated us, and they've been beaten 5-2 on aggregate over 2 games. And him saying we are nothing, it is a disgrace. That is shocking. That is a massive lack of disrespect, and he's really went down in my estimations. Because to be fair to him, at St James's Park, you would have seen it in my video, when they were training the night before the game, he did come over to the Newcastle fans, to the little ones and that were idolising him because he's one of these big, great players. A few hundred grand a week and all that, you know what I mean? Superstar, wins the World Cup single-handedly and all that bollocks. And he did sign quite a few things until he was literally getting pushed, and then he took off. Because not many PSG players came over that night. There's only 3 or 4 of them max that came over and did do autographs and stuff like that. And he was one of them, so I thought, fair play to him. That's nice of the bloke, that. But after this, no way. Nah, not having it. That's shocking what you said about Newcastle. It's very distasteful. Have a leaf out of Eddie Howe's book, Mbappe, and how we didn't whinge and moan at that absolutely lifting worst decision ever for a penalty. And we're just, Eddie Howe, credit to him, was respectful and calm. And then Mbappe comes out afterwards, whinging, saying Newcastle are nobodies, and they dominated the game. Well, he has the stats on the screen as well for that dominated game that they had. And obviously, in essence, yep, they had more shots than us. They had more possession, especially, I think, the last half an hour. I thought Newcastle controlled the game very well until the 50th, 60th minute. And then we sat back for too long. Just like Isak said in his post-match press conference, to be fair. We did sit back too deep for too long and invited a lot of pressure. But those 8 minutes should have never been added on. And it should have never been a penalty. So it never should have been a draw. And you should have got beat again. But the stats obviously are in PSG's favour, as they should be. You are the home side, and you are one of Europe's elite. You know what I mean? You've been in the Champions League for years now. You've spent billions of pounds and all that. You've got all these big star name players, including yourself, Kylian. You're meant to be the number 1 in the world now. And Newcastle, he's saying we did nothing. Well, I'll tell you what we did. We took the lead, took the chance very well, and defended brilliantly. Absolutely brilliantly. Fighted every battle. Pope had the game of his life. You know what I mean? It was class. And it was a perfect Champions League away performance, really. You take the lead and you defend resolutely. And we did that. You know what I mean? Then we just got robbed at the end. So, people saying we did nothing. I tell you what, flashback, because we scored 4 goals against you a month before that. And then we scored against you again tonight. And you still haven't beat it. So, have a bit of that, you French idiot. So, I mean, for me, Mbappe is saying that. It's just, it's very disrespectful. Really is disrespectful. He's bang out of order for it. And like I said, PSG should be winning that game. Really, the stats are there, but their money's there. Newcastle United couldn't even fill the bench against Paris Saint-Germain on Tuesday night. Only had 7 out of 9 available substitutes. 3 of them are teenagers, 2 are goalkeepers. You know, I mean, you got Lewis Hall and Paul Dummett. I think that was it about that. You know, whereas PSG brought on 4 players, totaling a worth of 150 million euros. Bit of a difference there, Killy. Bit of a difference in what you can do and bring on. So, you should have won. You did waste chances, but Newcastle deserved the win because they battled hard and we took our chance. Even we wasted a couple of chances. I think Isak at the start of the second half had one. I think he had another one in the first half. He did when he really should have scored. So, you know, I think we had 2 or 3 shots on target. The possession was obviously in PSG's favour, but it will be. We're knackered. We couldn't even make a sub. We're playing all these games. Got all these injuries. The injury list is on your screen now. We're missing a lot of big hitters. And not just big hitters, but options off the bench. You know, PSG the other night, if we've got a good squad available, your Harvey Barnes comes on. You know what I mean? Your Harvey Barnes comes on, your Callum Wilson comes on, your Sean Longstaff's coming on, if not playing. Tonali for a starter. Where's Tonali at? Do you know what I mean? Even a Murphy will come on, defend well. So, all these players we're missing, and Mbappe needs to start respecting. He does. He needs to stop being such a cocky, arrogant, horrible bastard and just put some respect on Newcastle United and actually respect your opponents. Because I don't think he shook Tino Livermento's hand either at the end of the game, is what people were saying. I haven't seen a video of it, but that's what a lot of press reports were. So, again, disgraceful and distasteful. And that's the last of my energy and time I'm spending on that moron. Could have used a stronger word there. Don't want to get demonetised and cancelled anymore. So let me know what you thought in the comments about Kylian Mbappe's outburst on Newcastle United, saying we are nothing and did nothing and Just a real lack of taste and respect from him. There we go. I was going to use another word there, but I restrained myself. Okay. Cheers for watching, everyone. Make sure you subscribe to Magpie Channel TV. We have got Manchester United on Saturday night. That's going to be a big one. Match day vlog, match reaction, all of that content coming your way. See you soon and enjoy yourself.